Hello everyone, welcome back to Gent Watches. Today we are going to be watching Call of the Night, Yofukashi no Uta. This is episode 10 of the series, and what happened last time? I can't remember. I gotta look at my notes. Look, I'm watching a lot of shows, okay? There's a lot of notes on this page, so just forgive me if I don't remember all of it. Okay. Oh, yes, I really liked the last episode, because that was the episode where we had Sadie, and Sadie was sort of talking about her struggles and how she's got a guy that's, you know, stalking her and stuff, and she's just like, oh, I'll just kill him. It's just easier to kill him. And so she was trying to kill him, but then we got the dude side of the story, and it's like he was still in the wrong, but at the same time we can understand sort of where he's coming from, and he definitely doesn't deserve to die for it. And then we had this really heartwarming moment at the end where he just like asked to become a vampire. He becomes a vampire. Now he's a vampire. I hope we see him at least once or twice more, you know, just so that we can get a good feel of not only someone who's recently become a vampire, but also get a good feel of a man vampire, or a manpire, if you will, because so far we have only had female vampires. So it's very, very interesting, but you know, there's got to be male vampires out there. I mean, it's not like they were like, oh, what, you can't make a male vampire? Like this, that's I guess a common thing. But I wonder why we don't see many of them. I wonder why we haven't found out how Nazuna became a vampire, you know, stuff like that. So anyway, we're going to jump into this episode. If you want full-length reactions or early access or exclusive videos, my Patreon's the place to go. It's in the description below, so you can go do that. And please make sure to like the video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That would be so good. Especially comment, you know, this series, it's got you know, some people watching it, but it's not one of the more popular ones on my channel. But if you're there and you're watching and you want to say something, feel free to comment down below. I love reading it. So let's get into this episode of Yofukashi no Uta, episode 10. Here we go. Do they call it Maid Cafe Vamp? Oh, this is one of the girls, right? One of the vampires from before? Yes, it is. Nazuna? Nazuna's gonna be a maid? Nazuna? Why did we get an ass shot there? Yeah. Ah, this is absolutely just an excuse to put a maid outfit on Nazuna. Not that I'm complaining, but that's all it is. I'm surprised she doesn't mind as well. Okay, so she's probably gonna try to seduce Ko a little bit during this episode, just for her own pride. This is great already. Love it. Yeah, moi moi. Whoa! They put a lot of effort into that animation for just a few seconds. That dude's happy. Is he a regular? Sounds like it. Roleplay. Arisa. Really? I'm gonna write down your name, Arisa. You've got personality. Don't doctor. Hmm. That doesn't surprise me.
今日すごいしか言ってない気が。
I was thinking that his vocabulary isn't huge right now.
どうだヤモリコ。私は。
人気ナンバーワンね。
Well, Nazan is his number one.
なんだこりゃ。
どうしたんですか、川上さん。
Hmm?
いや拡大すんなって。あんま見ないだよ。
いやそれはないです。
人気の話を取らないと。
So, wait, who took these photos?
取られたいの？取られたくはないよ。女の下半身だけを見て誰かわかる能力でも持ってんの。まあまあキモいんだけど。
違いますよ、失礼だな。
I don't think it'd be that hard. Or actually, maybe just a thigh photo would be kind of tricky. Oh, Maid eye catch. Oh my gosh. A low angle Maid eye catch. What is she changing? Do you know why he's looking at those photos?
ごめんなさい。私なんかのために。緑ちゃん。
Okay, good. That would have been bad.
盗撮なんてされなかったのに。
おそらくあの窓。なるほど。
Damn.
ベランダか。
What if it's another vampire? I almost called it a balcony. Vampire.
はい。ごめんなさい、気がつかないです。すぐ出て行きます。
こちらこそ。ハニー探し手伝ってくれてるのに。
That animation is so good. I feel like surely you'd have to be a vampire to get up to that balcony.
なずなちゃん頼んでいい？
Either vampire or you work there, right?
ということは犯人は緑？
なわけないでしょ。
でもこの状況。
Yeah, I don't think it's Midori.
緑としか。ヤモリさん、なんで？おっとお嬢ちゃん、面倒な勘違いはするなよ。
Thank goodness Nazan is there.
手がかりを探してるんだ。
Wait, does she know? She wouldn't know they're vampires, right?
私がそっち行ってやるよ。
And make sure to partly take off your clothes. Don't pose for it.
写真写真って。
Whoa! Unless it's like Arissa taking photos of herself to get her own popularity back up to be number one again. But
見つけられるかも。
oh my god, why is he having a big brain moment?
吸血鬼になれなかったら将来探偵になろうかな。
You won't grow up if you don't become a vampire. You'll die.
犯人捕まえられるって本当？
He's so confident.
ほぼ確実。いや、まあだいたい8割方、6割くらい。
Oh, it's going down by the second.
やっぱり絶対なんて軽々しく言えないし。
Now watch as she takes photos of herself. Yeah, yeah, you guys are up close and personal. Ko's not in love with you. He's not in love with anyone yet.
同じロッカーなんですか。盗撮写真はすべて閉店後に撮られてる。
Ah.
あのね、ヤモリ君。
いや、
Talk later.
私のことなしって言ったくせにそういうこと言うんだ。
俺は大体なしなんです。というより、写真を見る限り、そうとしか考えられない。
She's putting it on a
な
timer.
んでそんなことするのかわからない。
ヤモリさん。ああ、タイマー
Yep.
撮影ね。
She's trying to get her popularity back up, I think.
私の顔撮っちゃった。
アリサさん、ごめん。盗撮風の自撮りなんてしたの。
Aww.
一回服着ていいですか？
No.
盗撮なら普通は映ってるじゃないですか。ほら。
Mmm.
ああ。
The person didn't upskirt
勘違い
her.
がないって最初から思ってたの。
Wow.
自分はまだ人気なんだってアピールしたかったんでしょ？
Oh, so it's not even
承
to
認欲求を満たすためだったんでしょ？
it's not even to get herself popular, it's just to make herself seem popular.
病気って言うんだよ。
Hey, come on, girl.
そんな言い方しなくても。
Yeah.
なんで？人間なんて大体みんな病気なんだから。それとうまく付き合うしかない。
Yeah, Midori's saying, "Hey, yeah, you're weird and you have desires to do this stuff, but I don't care."
ちょこちょこメイドを続けるらしい。
Really?
みどりちゃん。 帰りなさいませお嬢様。私ね、
Oh, this is
よくす
cute.
るんだけど、もっともっとって。やばい時は朝からやって、気づいたら夜なんてこともあるし。
These are very cute
そんな
selfies.
こと肯定されるなんて思ってなかった。あら、
Oh,
一緒に撮りませんか？
that's adorable. I love Nazuna just posing as she walks by. That's great. I gotta say, I mean, I liked this episode, and the thing is, I feel like maybe if I was not in as good a mood, like I'm in a really good mood today. If I was not in as good a mood, maybe I wouldn't have liked it as much, because it didn't have the bits of the episodes that I generally get drawn to. But okay, I'm going to look, if you're going to find this annoying, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to quickly lay out the elements of this episode that generally I either don't really care about or I actually don't like in episodes. Okay? These are the elements that I generally don't care about or don't like. When it's not progressing the plot that I'm interested in, and the plot that I'm interested in is the sort of violence behind the vampires, the evolution of the violence behind the vampires. That's what I'm interested in the show right now. It didn't progress that at all. So there was that. There was a lot of I guess fan service, you know, with the fact that it's just all in a maid cafe and it's like clearly an excuse to put Nazuna in a maid costume, right? The fact that it is a sort of one episode, one-off, like murder mystery type deal, and the fact that the main plotline revolved around like a sort of perverted storyline. Okay, those are 4 major elements of the episode that generally, when those some or all of those elements are put into an episode, in my mind, I'm just like, I don't care about that episode. Like I generally watch the episode. I'm like, oh my god, okay, here we go. Yep, great, okay, I'm done. But I really liked this episode, and I think here are the things that made it work. One, the show is already the show, like the fan service of the show, like it's already gone into those depths. It's sort of what we're expecting from this show. It actually does it less than I expected to sometimes, so doesn't bother me. And they didn't go too hard into the fan service either. 2, the comedy was basically all hitting. I really liked a lot of the jokes in this episode, the personalities that were coming out. 3, while it didn't progress the vampire violence side of it, it did actually make me more interested in Midori as a character, and has made me remember her more, which is good because I sort of like all the other vampires blended together in my head. But now I know more about Seri and I know about Midori separate, so I want to learn more about the other vampires a bit better, because they introduced them all at once and they all blurred together and I don't really remember the differences between them. But now I know sort of how Midori's personality is separate from the others. And 4, I think the like murder mystery thing was, you know, somewhat well done. A little bit predictable, but that's not a big deal, really. It's not a murder mystery show, and predictable isn't even necessarily bad a lot of the time. And then 5, it had just a really wholesome ending to it, you know? It made me like Arisa. I also just like the name Arisa. Like Arisa, it's maybe it's just because the character in Bang Dream, Arisa, is one of my favorites. And then since I started to like that character, every time a character comes up named Arisa, I automatically like her from the start. But I just like the name. But this character, I liked her immediately because as soon as she said, like, I like to go to maid cafes in my spare time and hang out with my favorite maids, I was like, you're already an interesting character. Like, I like you because I can sort of imagine the kind of person that you are. And so, yeah, that was really good. I liked her. And then at the end, how it's like she connected with Midori, and Midori was saying like, yeah, you're sick, you're ill, but she wasn't saying it as an insult, even though it sounded bad. What she was saying is that like we've all got issues, we've all got, you know, things that make us self-conscious, or things that are tricky for us to get through. I've got them too. You can share them with me if you want, you know, like we're in this together. And I love that Arisa had the confidence to take a selfie and send it to Midori. And I love that Midori responded and was like, hey, that's super cute. Amazing. Like, awesome. Because it's just like an adorable friendship. And that's great for a vampire as well. Because like vampires, they don't keep up their friendships from what we've seen, you know. So I would love if Midori and Arisa just have an incredible friendship. And I love all the Nazuna Maid cafe jokes in this episode. All of that stuff was great. I loved Nazuna being terrible in photos. I loved that end photo with like Nazuna walking by and giving the peace sign. I just think it was great. And I think Nazuna is such a well-designed, defined. She is well-designed as well, but a well-defined character where like I totally like even if I didn't see her like giving the peace sign and all these sorts of photos and stuff, I would totally think, if you asked me like what would Nazuna do if you took a photo of her, I would totally go, she would just do that, like absolutely. And so it's great that that's exactly what she does, because it just feels like I really know her as a character. In these 10 episodes, I've gotten to know her so well. So yeah, amazing. I'm really happy with that episode, and I'm so surprised I'm happy with that episode, but I am. So if you liked the episode too, let me know in the comments. Tell me what you thought of the episode. Maybe you weren't as into it as I was. Maybe you just were like, yeah, it was okay. But please make sure to like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and go to my Patreon account where you get full-length early access and exclusive videos. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.